Hello FPL managers and welcome back for another video. Today we go over the Game Week 11 knee-jerk reaction. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you guys do enjoy the video, and click the notification bell so you guys don't miss any future uploads. Also look out for the new FPL social event coming up in Melbourne of February next year. Click the link in the description if you guys want to learn more about this event. We're going to be there, so if you guys want to have a meet and greet with us, then head over to that link in the description. And with that being said, let's jump into the video. So in today's video, we're going to have a look over the 3 most transferred in and transferred out players so far this week, and give you guys a recommendation as to whether or not you should go with the crowd and bring these players into your teams, or release them from your squads. Starting off with the most transferred in players, Phil Foden is the most popular player to join the squads. He was able to get himself a goal and an assist last game week, which was very impressive. Unfortunately, he did get subbed off around 56-57 minutes, which saw him miss out on the extra clean sheet point and extra playing point for playing the full 60 minutes. But still, 11 points in game week 10 is a decent tally for a player of around £8 million right now. He had some great underlying stats for this game as well. He had a 0.59 XG, which actually ranked 5th amongst all players so far this game week. He also had 3 shots on target, which ranks 1st amongst all players so far this game week. And he actually attempted lots of assists as well. So he had a very good balance of goal and assist potential. He did have 4 attempted assists, which actually ranks 2nd amongst all players that have played so far in game week 10. So definitely a very nice pick to have in the squad right now. He's coming in at £8.1 million. He should be around 8.2 fairly shortly. So for me, a very nice mid-price midfielder option right now. He's getting good consistent minutes in the Premier League. It looks to be that he's getting rested for the Champions League and then getting those starting minutes in the Prem, which is very good to see, and he's getting into some great positions for Manchester City as well. So definitely a very nice asset to have in the team. His ownership is not too high at the moment right now. It's around 15% as well, so it could be a nice differential to have on the sides, as a lot of people have looked to go for the likes of Maddison and Zaha as that mid-price midfielder, but Phil Foden could prove to be a great differential, as he's been in great touch recently. Obviously got the hat-trick last week, and now a goal and an assist this week as well, so definitely a player in great form. Trossard surprisingly is the 2nd most transferred in player. I was definitely a bit shocked to see this pick. He only produced 2 points in game week 10, and his underlying stats were very poor, just a 0.13 XG. Only managed the 2 shots for the whole game. It didn't attempt an assist, and all of his shots were off target as well. So really very underwhelming stats, and Brighton's fixtures are quite tricky from now until game week 16. They still have to face Manchester City in this time, and a couple of other trickier fixtures around this period. So for me, once again, looking at Foden, looking at Zaha and Maddison, there just is better mid-price midfielders right now, which I would prefer over the likes of Trossard. Cancelo, another very popular transfer in. This is understandable after he got himself a goal, an assist and a clean sheet, plus of course triple bonus points for Manchester City, so an 18-point mega haul was very promising from him. His 3 attempted assists do rank 4th amongst all players so far this game week. He also had a 0.27 expected assist stat, which I believe ranks in the top 3 for defenders so far this game week. So definitely a very good output from him once again. I'm liking the positions that he's getting in. He made a great goal, very good run forward into the box, took a great shot on, so that's very good to see from Cancelo. For me, if you don't have Cancelo in the squad, I think he's a fairly essential option, as despite him blanking in game week 12, Manchester City still have some very good fixtures around that, and Manchester City's defence probably has been the most consistent from the clean sheet perspective. They have recorded quite a few so far this season, so for me, if Cancelo's not in the squad, he has to be one that you're looking to get into the teams. Looking at the most transferred out players, it's a 3rd Man City player to feature on this transfer activity list. Bernardo just got the 3 points. He is kind of playing in a CM, it's like centre mid / central defensive mid role, just linking up with those centre backs and then playing the ball forward. So he's not really getting into too many dangerous positions right now for Manchester City, and that is reflected in his underlying stats. Didn't attempt any assists so far this game week, and only took the 1 shot this game week, which was off target. This shot also had an XG of just 0.05, so another one that's just been a bit underwhelming as of late, similar to Trossard. Not great underlying stats in game week 10. For me, there are definitely better Manchester City assets in that team, and with Bernardo taking up such a valuable slot right now, with good options including Cancelo, Haaland, Foden, or even De Bruyne, I think Bernardo is just not right to go and take one of those Manchester City slots. There just is better options than him. So for me, if you do have him in the squad, I can see why you're looking to transfer him out. If you're looking for a player that isn't a Manchester City asset, of course that could also be a good option, because as we touched on with Zaha and Maddison, they've got good fixtures coming up, and with Manchester City blanking in game week 12, maybe you're not a fan of having triple Man City or double Man City for that blank, so you're looking to get him out ahead of that blank game week in game week 12. But for me, regardless of whether you're looking to get him in for a Man City player or not, a good transfer out. Mitrovic is another one that I would recommend holding on to as well. He hasn't played yet in game week 10. We'll have to see whether he starts for Fulham or not. There was some comments made by the Fulham manager that it wasn't a very serious injury, and it's just going to be whether he can be fit for the game week 10 match. He should be good to go for game week 11 onwards. So for me, if Mitrovic is currently in the side, I would be holding off him to get that confirmed injury news on the duration, but it looks to be something that isn't too serious as quoted by the manager, which should see him return for game week 11, and of course therefore he wouldn't be a good transfer out, because Fulham do have some good fixtures up until game week 16 where you do get that extra wild card. Mitrovic, he did start the season very, very well. He has dropped off slightly since then, but with some good fixtures coming up and the potential that he could get a start in game week 10, I think it's not the right chance to move him out right now. There are a couple of other good forward options going around. Solanke was able to get himself 2 assists. Tony got another goal. But for me, Mitrovic is probably not a priority transfer out right now in the squad, especially with a couple of other teams blanking in game week 12, such as Arsenal and Manchester City. Maybe those are transfers that you'd be looking to make priority. Then Raheem Sterling didn't get any minutes in game week 10, and I can see the frustration amongst managers as to why they've transferred him out. I do understand it though. He is quite an expensive player, coming in at over £10 million in that premium bracket if you like, and there are a lot of good options going on there right now. Salah could find some form potentially for Liverpool with some good fixtures. De Bruyne and Haaland have been on fire for Manchester City, and Harry Kane has been such a consistent performer for Tottenham. He's pretty much provided returns in most game weeks since game week 5, I believe, around that period. He's pretty much matching Haaland with consistency of returns rather than absolute volume of goals and assists. He seems to be just getting returns in nearly every game for Tottenham, which is good to see. And Chelsea's fixtures from game weeks 13 through 16 include Manchester United, Brighton, Arsenal and Newcastle. So 4 fixtures that aren't the best from an attacking standpoint. These are 4 defences that have looked very solid so far this season. So for me, Raheem Sterling, he's probably not worth a price tag, considering how many other good premium options there are in the game right now, and also considering how many other good midfielder options there have been right now, which we have previously touched on. So with those most popular transfers in mind, let's have a look at our Game Week 11 transfer watch list. The first player here has to be Phil Foden, after coming off back-to-back double-digit returns for Manchester City with 4 goals and 1 assist in his last couple of games for them. He's coming in at £8.2 million right now. He does have a tricky fixture in Game Week 11 though, of Liverpool away. He typically does do pretty well in this fixture though. He does then blank in game week 12, but after that from game weeks 13 through 16, Manchester City do have some very good fixtures. So potentially if you wanted to hop on him now, capitalise on some of those price rises, and potentially before his ownership gets up a little bit more, just increase the value of your team, he could be a very nice pick. He's not projected to score insane by fantasy football fix. That's probably due to the fact that there's a bit of uncertainty around those Man City players starting minutes right now. But for me, Phil Foden is just about as nailed as he gets in that Manchester City attack. He's been in great touch for them. He looks to be getting rested in those Champions League games and then played in the Premier League. So even though he's got a tricky fixture of Liverpool and then blanking, still a decent option to consider in the teams. Kieran Trippier also has to feature here. He's now gone up to £5.5 million. His ownership has crept above 50% right now. So once again, I'll keep saying, if you don't have him in the team, I think he's such a solid player to have in the squad. Yeah, another assist last game week. He did have the 4th highest expected assist stat out of any player in game week 10. So when he's not getting clean sheets, he's either contributing with goals or assists, and he does feature on bonus points quite frequently as well for Newcastle. This week, it is a tricky fixture from a defensive standpoint of Manchester United away, but after that, those Newcastle fixtures in general are pretty good from now until that next wildcard are becoming available. They do face Tottenham in 3 weeks' time as well, so if you wanted to bench him for Manchester United or Tottenham, if you don't have him in the team, that's always possible. He's got 4 other very good fixtures from now until game week 16. Dominic Solanke is coming off 2 assists for Bournemouth, so definitely one to look out for. He's got some very good fixtures coming up, highlighted by Fulham away, coming up in game week 11. So a very nice option at £5.7 million. Definitely a good budget enabler. If you're looking to downgrade Mitrovic, maybe Solanke's the guy at 5.7. He's definitely a good alternative to some of those mid-price forwards around £7 to £8 million. Drop him down to 5.7, and then it allows you to upgrade another position as well. Kevin De Bruyne has to feature here. Similar boat to Foden. Yes, obviously Liverpool away next game week, but they haven't defended the best so far this season, and the blank in game week 12. But for me, those Man City players have been in such great form, and I do think a lot of their prices will rise over the coming game weeks. So potentially a good option to jump on now if you're looking to capitalise on those price rises. And I still would fancy him for some points against Liverpool away, especially considering how well Man City have been playing and how poorly Liverpool have been defending. He does actually have the second highest predicted FPL points in the next 6 game weeks out of any player on the watch list here with 30.8. So definitely a very good option to have from game week 13 onwards as well, where he is expected to score very well. Ivan Toney coming in at £7.3 million, got himself yet another goal in game week 10 from the penalty spot. As a result, he did have the third highest XG out of any player so far this game week. So once again at £7.3 million, his ownership isn't as high as I would have expected. It's at around 20% right now, so another one to consider as that mid-price forward option. Brentford do have some pretty good fixtures coming up. Brighton at home is the next one, which is a decent one. They do typically score a lot of goals at home, Brentford, so I am hoping for more of the same in this one. He does actually have a very high predicted FPL points over the next 6 with 26.9, which is definitely a very nice value for a player of his price. Looking at the same price as well with Wilfried Zaha, he's coming in at 7.3 with some superb fixtures coming up. Next up, he does face Leicester away, which is another very good fixture. Obviously, Leicester have been conceding a lot of goals so far this season, so definitely a good opportunity to jump on Wilfried Zaha to capitalise on that weak defence. He is still yet to play in Game Week 10 at the time of recording, so we'll have to see how he goes. He's got another very strong fixture in Game Week 10, and pretty much Crystal Palace's fixtures from now until Game Week 16 are looking very strong, and that is why he's expected to score 27.4 FPL points over this time. Looking at another midfielder now, James Maddison, despite blanking to Bournemouth away last game week, still has some very good fixtures coming up. He's coming in at £8.2 million for Leicester, who are a side that have defended quite poorly so far this season. They have been attacking very well. They've scored quite a few goals already this season, and James Maddison is getting involved with both those goals and assists. He does actually have the third highest predicted points out of any player on this watch list over the next 6 game weeks, so that speaks volumes about how well Fantasy Football Fix expect him to play. So another very good option in the midfield. He's also got an ownership of around 15 to 20%, so a decent differential. Could be a good way to climb that rank a little bit before that second wildcard becomes available. And then Harry Kane, we've been talking about him a lot recently. He just keeps scoring for Tottenham. He's such a consistent performer. He's got so many consistent returns over the last 5 to 10 game weeks for Tottenham. He's been very, very solid. Another great fixture this week of Everton at home. One of the strongest fixtures in fact in game week 11, so definitely a good option to go for, and that is why he does have the highest predicted game week 11 points of 5.4 and the highest predicted points in the next 6 game weeks out of any player on the watch list with 32. So if you're looking for a second premium and you've already got Haaland in the side, maybe you could go for those double premium forwards, because Harry Kane has been in great form for Tottenham, getting into some great positions, and he's got great underlying stats as well. Thanks for watching today's knee-jerk reaction for Game Week 11. If you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, as it really helps out the channel. Also, click that notification bell so you guys don't miss any future uploads. And look out for FPL Social coming up in February of next year. It's in Melbourne, so look at the link in the description for more information and tickets about that. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.